It's a Good Life, Jerome Bixby. Part 3. Anthony's father came home around 6:30, looking tired and dirty and bloody. He'd been over in Dunn's pasture with the other men, helping pick out the cow to be slaughtered this month, and doing the job, and then butchering the meat and salting it away in Som's ice house. Not a job he cared for, where every man had his turn. Yesterday he had helped sight down old McIntyre's wheat. Tomorrow they would start threshing. By hand. Everything in Peaksville had to be done by hand. He kissed his wife on the cheek and sat down at the kitchen table. He smiled and said, "Where's Anthony?" "Around someplace," Mom said. And Amy was over at the wood-burning stove, stirring the big pot of peas. Mom went back to the oven and opened it and basted the roast. "Well, it's been a good day," Dad said. By rote. Then he looked at the mixing bowl and breadboard on the table. He sniffed at the dough. He said. "I could eat a loaf all by myself. I'm so hungry." "No one told Dan Hollis about its being a birthday party, did they?" his wife asked. "Nope. We kept as quiet as mummies. We fixed up such a lovely surprise." What? "Well, you know how much Dan likes music. Well, last week Thelma Dunn found a record in her attic." "No." "Yes. And we had Ethel sort of ask, without really asking, if he had that one. And he said no. Isn't that a wonderful surprise?" "Well, now, it sure is. A record, imagine. That's a real nice thing to find. What record is it?" "Perry Como singing You Are My Sunshine." "Well, I'll be darned. I always liked that tune." Some raw carrots were lying on the table. Dad picked up a small one, scrubbed it on his chest, and took a bite. "How did Thelma happen to find it?" "Oh, just looking around for new things." Dad chewed the carrot. "Say, who has that picture we found a while back? I kind of liked it. That old clipper sailing along." "The Smiths. Next week the Sippiches get it. And they give the Smiths old McIntyre's music box. And we give the Sippiches," and she went down the tentative order of things that would exchange hands among the women at church this Sunday. He nodded. "Looks like we can't have the picture for a while, I guess." "Look, honey, you might try to get that detective book back from the Rileys. I was so busy the week we had it, I never got to finish all the stories." "I'll try," his wife said doubtfully. "But I hear the Van Hoosens have a stereoscope they found in the cellar." Her voice was just a little accusing. They had it 2 whole months before they told anybody about it. "Say," Dad said, looking interested. "That would be nice too." "Lots of pictures?" "I suppose so. I'll see you on Sunday. I'd like to have it, but we still owe the Van Hoosens for their cannery. I don't know why that bird had to pick our house to die. It just have been sick when we got it. It must have been sick when we got it. Now there's just no satisfying Betty Van Hoosen. She even hinted she liked our piano for a while." "Well, honey, you try for the stereoscope, or just anything you think we'll like." At last he swallowed the carrot. It had been a little young and tough. Anthony's whims about the weather made it so that people never knew what crops would come up, or what shape they'd be in if they did. All they could do was plant a lot, and always enough of something came up in one season to live on. Just once there had been a grain surplus. Tons of it had been hauled to the edge of Peaksville and dumped off into the nothingness. Otherwise, nobody could have breathed it when it started to spoil. Dad went on, "it's nice to have the new things around. It's nice to think that there's probably still a lot of stuff nobody's found yet, in cellars and attics and barns and down behind things. They help somehow, as much as anything can help." "Shh!" Mom glanced nervously around. "Oh," Dad said, smiling hastily, "it's all right. The new things are good. It's nice to be able to have something around you've never seen before and know that something you'd given someone else is making them happy. That's a real good thing. A good thing, his wife echoed. Pretty soon, Aunt Emmy said from the stove, there won't be any more new things. We have found out everything there is to find. Goodness, that will be too bad. Amy! Well, her pale eyes were shallow and fixed, a sign of her recurrent vagueness. It will be kind of a shame. No new things. Don't talk like that, Mom said, trembling. Amy, be quiet. It's good, said Dad, in the loud, familiar, wanting to be overheard tone of voice. Such talk is good. It's okay, honey, don't you see? It's good for Amy to talk any way she wants. It's good for her to feel bad. Everything's good. Everything has to be good. Anthony's mother was pale, and so was Aunt Amy. The peril of the moment had suddenly penetrated the clouds surrounding her mind. Sometimes it was difficult to handle words so that they might not prove disastrous. You just never knew. There were so many things it was wise not to say or even think, but remonstration for saying or thinking them might be just as bad. If Anthony heard and decided to do anything about it, you could just never tell what Anthony was liable to do. Everything had to be good, had to be fine, just as it was, even if it wasn't. Always, because any change might be worse. So terribly much worse. Oh my goodness, yes, of course it's good, Mom said. You talk any way you want to, Amy, and that's just fine. Of course, you want to remember that some ways are better than others. Aunt Amy stirred the peas, fright in her pale eyes. Oh yes, she said, but I don't feel like talking right now. It's good that I don't feel like talking. Dad said tiredly, smiling, I'm going out and wash up. End of part 3.